This is the first movie in the program, and this is about where we start our perspective to everything that are in the education and some basic knowledge. And the first thing we have to be aware of when we start this inner path education is that it is a completely new language. It is very important to say that I come from, no matter how long you feel, how much you have worked with yourself, then try to approach this education from a totally new perspective. So, if you ask yourself, am I a spiritual person? Have I worked with myself on this area, this area, this area? Do I have contact with my feelings? Do I have contact with my spiritual guides? And all this stuff that we know from spirituality. Try to push everything away. Try to push all the boxes with words you have. For example, the word spirituality. Try to push it away and start from a completely new place. The place we come from is a place where I call 3D. It is a place where maybe you don't, but the society we live in consider things happening like cause and effect. Something happens because we did something or said something. We get a result from a physical kind of happening, statement. Everything can in some way be measured or seen or heard, and then we acknowledge the outcome. If I say something, people, you can say it's a law in 3D, that what I say is what I communicate. It's isolated to the words. Everybody knows that there are more to my statement, but it is a common way to consider our society rules when we are made accountable for our statements. We are only made accountable of the words we say. This education starts another place. It starts in 4D, a place where energy is what causes an effect. So if we say in 3D you say these words and that means this, and that is what you are being made accountable for. If you say the same sentence from a 4D perspective, then the words you say are surrounded or followed by energy. And yes, the words like in Gematria and in other perspectives, then words have a meaning. But what I mean here from a 4D perspective, if you say a sentence, it's your energy that are put into the sentence. that you must be accounted for. So in 3D it is the meaning of the words, no matter what you feel about the words inside you. In 4D, the perspective where we are in this program, whatever you say, what you will be accounted for is the meaning you have inside you. And that is the most important, and the words you choose to follow your opinion, your energy, will be lesser important. And that is the other way around here. You won't be accounted for your, in some laws it's unlawful to judge anybody for anything else than what they say. I'm not talking about new laws here, I'm talking about an approach to life. And that is, if you live in this or the higher dimension, you know you are energy, you know that whatever you say, it is an expression of who you are. And what you are is the state your energies inside you are in. The example I always use that is so easy to understand, that is, it is that if you are standing in front of a person and you say to this person, I love you. If you mean it, the words will be followed or carried with that energy that you love the person. So there will be love underneath the words you say. If you don't, the words will be followed of an energy message that is opposite the meaning of the words. We know it from when we talk to people, we feel some people are more authentic than others, some are more reliable than others. And that often has to do with whether they say what they mean or they say something and hide their meaning on the subject. Our feeling of authenticity is often to do with the energy in our body being expressed to the outside world. Everybody plays a part in their life, everybody has a facade, that's a part of life, but when we go on our inner path, one of our goals is to discover our own inner energies and find the courage to express them and thereby be the person you are inside, deep inside you. Express this person to the world. And of course it's a goal we can set for ourselves, but on the other hand, it is also life that it's not easy to do that. I will explain that later when I talk about when we as a soul incarnate on earth and we create a lower energy body. We have bodies up above the lower energy we create when we incarnate on earth. And in the incarnation, we have a birth chart, astrological birth chart, that is kind of the energy forces that we have in our life, available in our life. And when we incarnate as a baby and start living our life, things will happen, and these things are affecting our energy body, and this will become areas that are stuck in some way. So the energy will not flow as easily as when we were born, or when we later in life get this stuck energy released and the energy can flow again in our body. And that is a place in our life that this education is teaching you how you move towards. So being unauthentic in the world has to do with all the stuck emotional conditions you create or are being created in your body as a child. And that becomes your personality. So if you have experiences as a young child, if you are a boy, and your parents say that it's not appropriate to cry, you have to pull yourself together and stop crying, that would be an energy in you that are being stuck in some way. So when you later in life get sad, and the natural thing, the authentic thing will be to cry, then you will make a kind of facade, because early on in life you told that you shouldn't do it, and it was your parent that told it to you. So when you're a child, it's a matter of surviving, pleasing your parents. So all these things that happens when we are a child, it gets stuck in our lower emotional body, and that becomes our personality, and our personality becomes our facades, our roles, our authentic self, because our deep authentic energy deep inside us, because of whatever happened in our childhood, are stuck inside us. And maybe therefore when we are going to say a sentence to somebody, we can't do it authentically, because we have this stuck emotional condition. So we say what we think is appropriate to say, instead of say what we really feel. And that's a two-way thing, because when we come from 3D, or if we move to 4D and our society is still in 3D, then we will get some problems, because in 3D the people have difficulties with hearing authentic statements. So it is one thing to move yourself to a 4D perspective on life, and another thing is to dare to live from this perspective, while the society is still old as it is. So that is also what's very important in this education, to teach you to be the first group of people that move yourself to the 4D perspective and makes the world tip more towards a society that are in 4D. One more thing that are extremely important when you go through this education and when you are in this perspective, that is, you sense and feel life, you don't think life. Energies are everywhere in our body. It's around our head, there's our thoughts, mental energy, It's around this part of our body, from our neck and down under our feet. There's the astral body. That's where all our emotions are. So I usually draw body like this. This is the mental energy. This is the astral energy. So when you go from this perspective and meet a person, and if we put one over here, if there are some words here, in a 3D perspective, you will think about what was said in a sentence with these words. From this perspective, if we take the same sentence, put it over here, this person in a 4D perspective will think what is being said, but will use all the energy body's ability to sense or feel, whatever, it's the same. Feel, sense. The word feel is also an old word you must put away and start creating a new content in the word feel and sense. And it is possible to take your whole energy body from the head and to the bottom of the energy energy body, and use as a sensing apparatus. You use all of this to sense what the energy in this sentence or these words are, and the energy in these words are from this person, from the inside of this person. So you don't take your mind and understand the words like you do here. You take your energy and you sense and feel. And while you're doing this, you are using this part of your energy body and taking in information from this channel is a completely different thing than taking in information to this channel. This is mental energy, this is astral energy, this is thoughts, this is emotions. So if you take this sentence and let's say it's the sentence I said before, I love you. If you think and take in the information in your head, you will think the person is saying to me that the person loves me. So of course the person loved me. If you use this part of yourself and take in the meaning of this sentence, the energy that the person put into the sentence, and the person don't really love you, then this part of you will sense the meaning, the intention or the opinion, whatever you would call what is in this person. Because the person has some kind of opinion about you, but in this case it's not really love, but the person says I love you, and then this part of your body will pick up the I don't love you thing. And this is, yes, this is the feel, that's 4D perspective. Think that's the old 3D perspective. It's not that we don't think in this education, because we do, but the first and most basic things that are important to understand in this education, that is, we must meet everything from a sensing perspective. You must start to sense the world instead of just logically thinking what is happening in the world. You can do that, but the most important thing is first to sense Does he love me? Or doesn't he? What are he saying? What is he not saying? Do that to everything. I explained in the introduction video how it's good to see all the movies twice. The first time you see it, you hear what I say, you use this part. The second time you see the movie, you sense it. You sense it, you feel it, you use this part of your body, and thereby you approach all the information with your energy body, and you will get a lot more information. As I said here, you will not only get the word I love you, you will get the word and you will get the meaning. So that was the start and the most basic thing that are important to know. Remember, you are learning a new language about understanding, a language you can use to understand yourself. And I call it a language, but it's not a verbal language. It's a perspective on life. To create this new perspective, I create a kind of language, but it is the whole education. And to understand this new language, you must throw away your old meanings of all the words. It's also boxes in your head. It's a meaning of what is spirituality. Throw away that old knowledge and don't create a new instantly. Wait until you are going through this education and the language will create itself, because it is a 4D language, and 4D has more dimension than 3D. So I have a video later about words, different kind of words. I take and describe them from a new perspective. And what is for every word we have in 3D, it will become, let's say, 50 words in 4D. In 3D we have a thing, let's say spirituality. In 3D everybody thinks that everybody means the same with the word spirituality. When you have seen a lot of these films and been through this education, you will know that to explain what you mean with spirituality, you probably have to talk for 10 minutes. I couldn't explain for you what I mean with spirituality without using an hour. That is when you see things from an energetic perspective, because energy is multidimensional and words are to 3-dimensional. Yes, thank you.